So on the breaks, page just turns something into another page. It'll keep the margin formatting the same. Next page creates a section break and puts it on a new page. And continuous means that it stays on the same page, but you can change the margins in that section without having to change everything else. We also have something called a column break, but before we get to that, I want to show you columns. So let's get rid of, and what we're going to do is we're going to put our cursor before the section breaks. We're going to hit delete at each section break. So now we're here. We're going to get rid of the page break. Okay, now we're back to the original document. Let's say I wanted to create a flyer. If I wanted to create a flyer, one of the things I would want is the orientation to be landscape. So remember, I go in here, and I click landscape. Then I'd want to add my columns. Most flyers are 3 columns. So there's my 3-column flyer. But before that, I want to go over some of the features in columns. So some of the features in columns are, under columns, you have 1 column, which is your typical page. That's your default. You can do 2 columns. You can do a left column, which means you're going to have a bigger column on the right side and a smaller column on the left side. Or vice versa, right. The right side becomes smaller and the left side is bigger. You also have more columns. In here, you can tell it to make equal column widths. You can change the column widths. You can change the spacing. Suppose I wanted an inch in between columns. I can do that and click OK. And all of a sudden, I have a wider column break. Notice how this area up here on my ruler got wider. 2 columns. It's got a margin. I go to more columns and I make this bigger. And I click OK. Now my space is bigger in between the 2. In columns, under more columns, you may also add a line in between. Now let's say I have 2 columns and I say, oh no, I want to make a brochure. I can go into columns, go into more columns, and change the number. So now it becomes 3 columns. You don't need to keep the lines there. If you decide you don't want the lines there, you just go into more columns, and unclick the box, and the lines disappear. I want to show you how some of these breaks would work in here. Because this is a column, let's say you've got part of something here, part of it up here. I don't want it to be in 2 separate columns. I can go to my breaks, do a column break, and all of a sudden it moves the things to the next column. Notice how it put in a column break here. So that means that, you know, sometimes when you're doing columns, you want it to show in the next one. A lot of people hit enter constantly. And then you add information. I can add information up here, and it doesn't affect my next column, unlike when people use paragraph markers to do the same thing. Notice how this stayed at the top of the column. The column break is still there. I can change my margins in the column. I've got 1 inch. Most flyers wouldn't want 1 inch. We do a narrow. And now look.